Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always repping. Oh my God, my whole life.
Hello students, good morning. How are you today? I hope that you are feeling good and at the same time inspired so that you can still have the courage to continue all the activities given by your teachers despite of the negativity of the world or the challenges that we are facing right now in this time of pandemic. Okay? So, without further ado, let's have our discussion for today. So our topic for today is all about communication. Okay? Communication, its definition and its elements, the different elements in the process of communication. Alright? So, before I start my discussion, let me first ask you, what is communication? Again, what is communication? So if you have answer, you can write it on a piece of paper and check that later as we go through our discussion. Okay? Alright, so going back to the question, what is communication? Well, communication is defined. It is a process of sending or receiving information or messages. And communication can be done in many ways. This can be done verbally or non-verbally. So for verbal communication, one example is the face-to-face conversation. And for non-verbal communication, the use of facial expression, your hand gestures, and of course, the body language. Okay? So, we're done with the definition of communication. So let's proceed to the elements in the communication process. So the first element of communication is the sender. Okay, so what is the sender, by the way? Okay, so the sender, this is the one who initiates the communication process. This is the one who chooses the purpose of the communication. It could be to persuade, to inform, or to argue. Okay, so that is the role and that is the sender in the communication process. The second element in the communication process is the receiver. Of course, if we have the sender, then we have also the receiver. Okay, so the receiver, this is the one whom the message or the information is intended or sent. So that is the receiver. Alright. So, the third element in the communication process is the message. The message is the content of the conversation. This contains the information or details, the feelings or emotions, or the thoughts or ideas that the communicator expresses to the other participant in the communication process. So that is the message. After the message, we have the channel or the medium. Okay, so channel or medium is very important in the communication process because this identifies how the message is delivered. In a verbal or face-to-face conversation, air serves as the medium and the message or information is transmitted through sounds or light waves. Also, communication can also be done through the use of technology, like using telephone, email, voicemail, or video recording. So that is the channel or the medium. Next to channel or medium is the feedback. Okay, so what is feedback? Feedback is the receiver's response to the sent messages or information. This indicates how the message is interpreted, how it is seen, or how it is heard or understood by the receiver. So that is the feedback in the communication process. Alright, so after the feedback, we have the context. So what is a context? Context refers to the circumstances, situation, condition, or the environment where the communication happens or communication takes place. So in what way does context affects communication? So for example, you are talking to your friend in the garden and all of a sudden, loud music is played from your neighbor's house. So of course, it will affect the communication. It will hamper the communication because you cannot hear each other. And that will lead to misunderstandings or communication breakdown. So, the last element in the communication process is the noise. So what is a noise? Noise is the barrier in the communication process or the impediment to a successful communication. And noise is categorized into three. Alright, so the first classification of noise is the internal noise. So when you say internal noise, this refers to the communicator's feelings or emotions, opinions or beliefs, and even attitude. So for example, in a classroom setting, you are a student and you are not feeling well while your teacher is discussing in front. Of course, you cannot understand or comprehend well the discussion. The second one is the external noise. So external noise, this refers to the communicator's environment or surroundings. So the same with the example I have given to you earlier, that you are talking to your friend in the garden and all of a sudden loud music is played from your neighbor's house. So of course, it really affects the communication process. That's really a barrier. And the last classification of noise is the semantic noise. So semantic noise, this gets in the way when both sender and receiver do not share the same opinions or beliefs or attitude or meanings to certain verbals or non-verbal signals or to certain words. For example, you are talking to your grandmother and you are using shortened words or flipped words. Of course, your grandmother cannot understand those words and will be confused what those words really mean. So that ends the different elements of communication. But to sum it up, we have the sender, the receiver, the message, the channel, the feedback, the context, and the noise. Alright, so I hope that you have learned something from this video, and just stay and tune for my upcoming educational videos. Thank you for watching. Bye!